The moment Ethan called her froze in the grocery store aisle, his breath caught not because of the noise or the crowd, but because a child's small voice behind him made his past collide violently with his present. His heart thudded as if it recognized something his mind had tried to bury for years, and in that instant, the careful life he had built as a single father trembled on its foundation. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and unseen connections that change lives, please like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to the channel Dreams Journal. Your support keeps stories like this alive. Ethan had learned to move quietly through life. Every morning, under the pale gold of early daylight, he packed lunches, tied shoelaces, and smiled for his son Noah even when exhaustion sat heavy in his chest. Being a single dad had not been part of his plan, but plans rarely survived reality. Years earlier, a tragedy had torn away the woman he loved, leaving behind grief, unanswered questions, and a promise Ethan made to himself that he would never let his son feel abandoned. The tattoo on his forearm, a simple constellation etched in dark ink, was a private memorial to the love he had lost and the child he was raising alone. That afternoon, sunlight streamed through the grocery store windows, reflecting off polished floors as Ethan reached for a box of cereal. That was when he noticed a little girl standing a few steps away, her eyes wide with curiosity, staring directly at his arm. Her expression was not casual interest. It was recognition. The air shifted. Ethan felt it before he understood it. The child's gaze carried certainty, the kind children have when they know something adults refuse to see. She clutched a small backpack and stood beside a woman distractedly scanning shelves, unaware that the world was quietly rearranging itself. Ethan tried to dismiss the moment as coincidence. Tattoos were common. Constellations were common. Still, his chest tightened. The little girl's eyes traced the familiar pattern. The same stars, the same alignment Ethan had memorized over countless lonely nights. Memories flooded back in sharp daylight clarity. Hospital corridors filled with sunlight, promises whispered during mornings that smelled of antiseptic and hope. A woman named Lila who believed love left marks not just on skin but on fate. He finished shopping in a daze, yet the image followed him home. That night, while Noah slept peacefully under a sunlit moon filtering through thin curtains, Ethan sat awake replaying the child's expression. The next day, during his lunch break, he found himself walking to the community park, a place filled with daytime laughter and the ordinary magic of children playing. He told himself it was just a habit, just fresh air, but his heart knew he was searching. Under the bright afternoon sky, he saw them again. The same little girl, this time on the swings, her laughter floating freely, and the same woman watching from a nearby bench. The sunlight revealed details Ethan had missed before. The woman's posture carried quiet strength, her face etched with fatigue and tenderness intertwined. And on her wrist, partially visible as she adjusted her sleeve, was ink. The same constellation, the same stars, the same story written twice. Ethan's world slowed. The truth began to surface, painful and astonishing. Years ago, after Lila's sudden illness and their rushed separation due to circumstances beyond his control, he had been told she did not survive. Grief had swallowed him whole, but life, it seemed, had hidden a chapter from him. The woman in the park was Lila. She had survived, had carried on, believing Ethan had abandoned her when communication broke down during the chaos of her treatment. Each had lived with a different lie, crafted by silence and misfortune. The days that followed were heavy with revelations. In bright coffee shops and sunlit courtyards, truths unfolded without anger, only sorrow for lost time. The little girl, Mira, was Ethan's daughter, a child he had never known existed, raised with love but missing half her story. Lila had chosen the same tattoo, years earlier, as a symbol of hope, never knowing Ethan had done the same. Two hearts had marked themselves with the same stars, guided unknowingly toward reunion. For Ethan, the hardest part was not the shock, but the regret. Regret for birthdays missed, first steps unseen, mornings that could have been shared. Yet hope grew quietly alongside the pain. Noah met Mira under the warm daylight of the park, two siblings circling each other with cautious curiosity before laughter bridged the gap. Watching them, Ethan felt something mend inside him. The past could not be rewritten, but the future stood open and bright. Life did not become perfect overnight. Trust needed rebuilding. Time demanded patience. But under the steady presence of the sun, Ethan learned that love could survive even the longest separations. The tattoo on his arm no longer represented only loss. It became a map, guiding him back to a family he never knew he still had. If this story has touched your heart, reminded you of love found again, or hope restored in unexpected ways, please take a moment to like, share, and engage with this video. Your support means more than you know. Before the ending, we have a special request. Please comment below and tell us what this story made you feel, or who it reminded you of that as Ethan stood in the park one bright afternoon, watching 3 children run toward the future together. He finally understood that some truths are revealed not in darkness, but in daylight when we are brave enough to look.